Lights flash, a siren wails. A routine traffic stop, until it isn't. Officer Jake Collins thinks he's just pulling over another driver. But as he approaches the vehicle, his heart skips a beat. Sitting behind the wheel isn't just any man. It's Police Chief Daniel Harper, his superior. The moment hangs heavy in the air. Harper's face is calm, but his eyes hold something else. Disappointment, maybe even anger. A mistake, a misunderstanding, maybe, but the damage is already done. Within hours, the incident spreads like wildfire. The department is in turmoil, the community demanding answers. Collins swears it wasn't about race. Harper isn't so sure. What happens next will change both of their lives forever. Careers are on the line. Trust is shattered, and as the truth unravels, the consequences are far more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. The news spreads faster than either man can react. Social media explodes with opinions, speculation, and outrage. Some say it was an honest mistake, just a cop doing his job. Others aren't so sure. The fact that Chief Harper is one of the most respected leaders in the city only makes it worse. How could one of his own officers not recognize him? Behind closed doors, the department scrambles for damage control. Collins is pulled in for questioning. He insists he followed protocol, but doubt creeps into his voice. Did he? Or was there something else, something unspoken, that made him react the way he did? Harper, usually calm and measured, struggles with his own thoughts. He's fought for years to build trust between the police and the community. Now, one moment threatens to unravel it all. And then, just when things can't get worse, new evidence surfaces, something no one saw coming. The leaked dashcam footage only makes things worse. It shows Collins approaching the car, his posture tense. His voice is firm, maybe too firm. Chief Harper remains calm, his hands visible on the wheel. But there's a moment, a flicker of hesitation in Collins' eyes that people can't ignore. Was it fear? Was it bias? The department is divided. Some defend Collins, saying he was just being cautious. Others whisper that this is exactly the kind of problem Harper has been working to fix. Meanwhile, Harper is under pressure from the community. Activists demand answers. City officials want reassurance. The mayor calls for an internal review. But Harper isn't sure what to believe anymore. He's known Collins for years, mentored him even. But now, questions cloud his judgment. Did Collins really not recognize him, or did something deeper influence his reaction? Then, an anonymous message lands in Harper's inbox. 5 words that change everything. Asterisk, check Collins' record. Urgent, asterisk. Harper hesitates before opening the file. His hands feel heavier than usual. Collins has been with the department for years. He was never a problem officer. But something about that message lingers in his mind. When he finally clicks the report, his breath catches. A pattern emerges. Complaints, small ones, dismissed as misunderstandings. Stops that seemed routine but weren't. Nothing major, nothing that ever led to action, but now, in this moment, they feel like pieces of a larger puzzle. At the same time, Collins feels the pressure mounting. He's getting calls from his union, his fellow officers, even his family. Some tell him to stay quiet, ride it out. Others warn that this is bigger than him now. He replays the stop in his head over and over, trying to convince himself he would have reacted the same way, no matter who was in the car. But deep down, doubt starts creeping in. Then, another shock. Harper isn't the only one investigating. A journalist has gotten hold of something, and the next morning, the headlines explode. Asterisk, new evidence suggests a troubling pattern. Asterisk. The article spreads like wildfire. It details more than just Collins' past stops. It uncovers a case from years ago, one that was quietly buried. A man, wrongfully detained, later released without charges, had filed a complaint, claiming Collins escalated the situation without cause. Back then, no one paid attention. Now, with the spotlight on him, it's a different story. Collins wakes up to reporters outside his house. His phone won't stop buzzing. His name is everywhere, his reputation unraveling by the hour. His stomach twists as he reads the article. He barely remembers that stop, but the details sting. Had he acted differently because of who the driver was? Was this really just another misunderstanding, or was there something in him he never wanted to admit? Harper watches it all unfold, but before he can take action, something unexpected happens. The journalist who broke the story calls him directly. Her voice is urgent. "Chief, there's something you don't know. This goes deeper than Collins." Harper's grip tightens around his phone. "What do you mean?" he asks, his voice low. The journalist hesitates. It's not just Collins. Someone's been protecting him, covering complaints, burying reports. The words hit Harper like a punch. He knew there were gaps in the system, but someone high up had been pulling strings. He rushes to his office, demanding full access to internal records. What he finds sends a chill through him. Collins wasn't the only officer flagged for questionable stops. There were others, names Harper trusted, linked to the same pattern. And worse, the reports had been quietly closed by a single person, Deputy Chief Reynolds. Collins, still reeling from the media storm, is blindsided when Internal Affairs calls him in. "Why would Reynolds cover for me?" he mutters, shaking his head. Then it hits him. He was being used, a pawn in something bigger. Harper confronts Reynolds that night, tension crackling between them. "You buried these complaints," Harper accuses. Reynolds leans back, unfazed. "I did what I had to do, to protect this department." But Harper sees it clearly now. This wasn't about protection. This was about control, about hiding a problem rather than fixing it. And Collins, he was just another officer thrown into a system designed to look the other way until it couldn't anymore. As Harper prepares to go public, Reynolds gives him a warning. "Think carefully, Chief. You expose this, and the whole department goes down with it." For a moment, Harper considers the weight of those words, but then he looks at the file in his hands, all the names, all the damage, and he knows what he has to do. But just as he's about to make his move, another call comes in, this time from the mayor's office. "Chief, we need to talk. Right now." Harper walks into the mayor's office, the weight of his decision pressing down on him. The mayor doesn't waste time. "This department can't afford a scandal like this," she says. "But we also can't ignore the truth." For the first time in days, Harper feels a sense of clarity. This isn't just about Collins. It's about trust, about fixing what's broken instead of hiding it. Hours later, Harper holds a press conference. He announces an independent investigation, promising full transparency. Collins, watching from home, exhales deeply. His career may never recover, but for the first time, he sees the bigger picture. Maybe this isn't just about him, it's about something much larger. Reynolds resigns before he can be fired. Some officers protest the shakeup, but others quietly admit it was long overdue. Change won't come easy, but as Harper looks out at the crowd, he knows one thing for sure: this is just the beginning.